Hi, my name is Jenny Lynn Patterson LaCour, and I am the founder and CEO of Jenny Lynn Fitness, home of Sweat. I've been an aquatic fitness instructor in NYC for the last 2 decades, and I'm currently working on launching my Sweat certificate program.
And I'm AJ Myers from Made by Myers. I specialize in podcast production, web design, branding, and business development. And you're listening to the Aquaholics Bootcamp.
We created this podcast to interview guests who inspire and motivate us within the aquatic fitness industry and beyond. Each episode, we'll chat with them about what they're working on professionally, as well as get to know them a little bit better personally.
So let's dive on in.
Joining us today is Sharlie Peterson. She is the creator and master trainer of Shockwave Aqua Fitness in Topeka, Kansas. Sharlie has been an aquatic fitness instructor since 2017 and is currently teaching and training at Shawnee County Park and Rec and GreatLIFE fitness facilities, where she is also serving as the group fitness coordinator. I'm really looking forward to this interview because Sharlie and I share the same passion and mission for the aqua fitness industry: to build an army of wave warriors working to change the perception of what water fitness can do for us all, just one class at a time. Sharlie, welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm so excited to finally be talking to you.
I know. It's happening. We made it happen.
Hi, Sharlie.
Hi.
I've been looking forward to this because, Sharlie, we follow you on social media and everything you post is always so engaging. So I'm looking forward to our conversation today.
Me too. I can't wait.
So why don't we start with where you are? Where are you actually calling from? And how are things going with the current pandemic that we're all up against?
So I am in Topeka, Kansas. I moved here from Wichita, Kansas, about a year and a half ago now. We have actually been fortunate with the summer classes during the pandemic to be able to have them at a regular capacity because the outdoor pool is huge and you can spread out. It could fit about 80 people comfortably for a class, while still maintaining social distance. So I've been one of the few unfortunate instructors that have still been able to teach. And the way that the outdoor pools are run right now with COVID is that you can have 50% building capacity, which for our North Pool, which is where I mainly taught at, that's over 1,000 people still. So yeah, and now I'm transitioning into the indoor pools where it's a little bit more intimate, which is a little bit more of a challenge because it's a smaller pool. But I've just started telling everyone, like, if you do not feel comfortable being more confined and next to people, I completely get it. But I give them a deep water option too because the indoor pools have a deep end. And so now a lot of my people are discovering that you can get a deep water workout and still get an incredible workout, which is awesome.
Yeah, you can. Once you put that belt on and you have 360 degrees of resistance, oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, I know. And a few of them are even actually doing it completely suspended without the belts. And I'm like, dude, more power to you. That is awesome.
Oh my. Sounds dangerous. Hopefully their form is somewhat on point.
That's what I'm working on. I'm working on it. Yeah.
That's difficult. I know. I completely understand. All of us have experienced the ones that are like, it's harder without the belt. And I'm just like, boo, it just doesn't look right. But you can struggle. You can just keep struggling because at least you're working. So.
Right. And my favorite is when they don't have the belt and then we do a move where our arms are somewhat out of the water and I just watch them sink. And I'm like, come on. I'm like, come back up. Come on.
The guilty pleasure of a water instructor. You're like, how long can they go down for?
Before I have to say something.
Exactly.
But it sounds like, I mean, what's really cool about this is that you're actually exposing people. I'm trying to take a positive spin on the pandemic here, but you're almost forced to expose people to something that they haven't tried before, using the deep end and spacing out for social distancing. You're getting to educate people about more things aquatic.
Yes. And, not only the deep end as well, but we will keep a few lap lanes in. And for the people that are really uncomfortable right now, because you do have those and it's perfectly fine. I get it. But I will tell a lot of the people that are really unsure about being that confined, if you want to go on the other side of one of the lap lanes, that's perfectly fine as well.
Hmm.
And that kind of eases them right away, knowing that they kind of have their own little space back there and they're still able to work out.
Yeah.
Um, so it's been kind of a challenge, but also really rewarding on finding new ways that people can work out in the water because, like a lot of the land classes here right now, they're just not thriving, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm very glad that, thinking of new ways that we can spread people out in the water and still have the fun and effective class time, which is
Yeah.
great.
That is really you said it well. You are part of the fortunate few that get to do, this both out and indoor, which is absolutely amazing. So
Yeah.
I know you obviously have your presence on social media with Aquatic Fitness, but what is your background? Like how did you find yourself becoming involved with Aquatic Fitness?
I owe all of that actually to my mom. She has been teaching, oh gosh, since either 2012 or 2013. She started teaching after she started taking aquatic classes for her own health, and they needed more instructors, and she was just kind of thrown into it. But she developed her own programs, and she kept asking me to come, and I was like, I hate saying this, but I had that stereotype in my mind of, well, it's for old people. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Um, but then, in 2016, she finally got me to try a class. And that's when I was in a really bad headspace myself because of the stomach disease I have. It was leading to really dark depression and an eating disorder. And the minute that I got in the water and tried the class and discovered that it was a super powerful workout, I automatically fell in love with it. And so my mom is a big advocate for it. She kind of saved my life in more ways than one because she got me active again and she showed me what the water could do. And then from there, it was almost something immediately that I knew that I wanted to teach.
Mm-hmm.
And so, 4 months later, after taking the classes, the group coordinator at the time at the facility I was at, she said, "Hey, I think you have the personality to teach. Do you want to teach?" And I was like, "Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah." So it's been a journey, and I have my mom to thank for it 100%.
Wow.
I love that.
Touching on that, I know you've posted a little bit about your incredible physical transformation. I'm curious if you wouldn't mind sharing your journey of how, you've kind of come through these medical stomach issues and kind of having such incredible results and seeing, just the incredible process you've gone through.
Sure. So back in, I believe it was 2013 as well, I was diagnosed with a stomach disease. It's called gastroparesis. It's basically where your stomach muscles do not work and you do not digest food on your own very well. And I am the 4% with an already rare stomach disease that actually gains weight from it rather than loses. So I gained weight very rapidly, and that also, I mean, that led to depression because it's not quite a boost to your self-esteem. And I also unfortunately developed an addiction to food.
Mm-hmm.
And so that on top of gaining weight with a stomach disease was really, really rough. And then, my mom in 2016, she finally said, you've got to do something because I know that your stomach disease is weighing you down, but you can also help yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so once I started Aqua Fitness and getting fit again, it's kind of been a yo-yo thing with me because if I can flare up overnight and gain 6 pounds overnight if I have a gastroparesis flare up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's super fun. But when COVID first started, while a lot of people ended up gaining weight during that period, my mom and I actually started getting active together and going on walks. And I was shooting videos for my water people.
Yay.
Yeah, stuff that they could do on land that was gentle on their joints. And I've kept that up and I've kept up better eating habits. I mean, I stumble here and there, but since March, I think all in all right now, I've lost 49 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, that's with a stomach disease still fighting against me. But I mean, yeah, being active and, changing your eating habits, because that's the more important part, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really saved my life along with the aquatic portion. So that's why I always tell people that, getting into aqua fitness and such has literally saved my life in more ways than one, because I'm happier. I'm not just laying in bed all day sad. So yeah, it's
Wow.
been quite a journey.
That is, I mean, that's unbelievable. I really did not know much about this disease. And hearing you talk about it, I'm just curious how many other people are, suffering in silence, so to speak, with this sort of condition or similar types of conditions.
Hmm.
Right. And I actually have two people that take my class, where I was at the end of one of my classes this summer. I told them a little bit about it because I do get the questions
Hmm.
from people, and they don't mean anything by it, but they're like, you're go, go, go. Why aren't you a stick figure, basically?
Mm,
And so I told them about my journey, and it made a few of them come forward and say, hey, I actually have this too, or I have something like it, such as Crohn's disease or whatever.
mhm.
And you're making me feel better about myself and showing me that I can do this.
Yes.
So it's so gratifying. And I didn't want to open up for a while just because I was embarrassed and everything. But I'm finding the more that I share, the more it inspires even that one person to get up and keep going.
Yeah,
It does.
absolutely.
It does. And you also touched on a very important topic that we sometimes overlook very easily, which is mental health. Your
Yes.
physical health, your weight, all of that is something that you actively work towards and fight against. But your mental health, you mentioned depression, not wanting to get out of bed, not wanting to do anything. And, that was my experience. I was working 80-hour weeks, eating 3 meals a day at my desk, when I worked in New York City at a law firm. And I barely saw sunlight, and I was depressed. Like, I didn't feel sad, but my body was depressed, and I gained weight.
Right.
And I was, I'm short in stature, and all of my weight goes right to my stomach. And
Yep.
and it was just something that once I experienced it for the first time, I was like resistant, more resistant than anything else, because I hate working out and I hate the gym. So when Jenny would be like, "You should come to the gym and work out with me," and I'd be like, "No, thank you," and "No, thank you." And then she's like, "You should try the water," and I'm like, "Okay, I will do one class to get you off my back." And then lo and behold, one class, once a week became two classes a week, then became three classes a week. And by the end of a couple of months, I'd say by the end of a year, I lost a ton of weight. But beyond the actual weight loss and strength gaining that I got was that mental lift, that like, oh my God, I
Right.
feel connected to an element. And I think that's what it is. It's like when you're out in nature, you're walking, you mentioned your nature walks, you're connecting with nature, you're connecting with the elements of the earth. And water is a primary element. And so when we're in it,
Mm,
I think it really does do something to our mental health, and in a good way.
mhm. Yeah.
100%. And that's like the quote that I always tell people is, when I was depressed, I didn't like the darkness, but I was comfortable there. It became comfortable, and you don't even realize it until you start to get yourself out a lot of times. So, and I'm so glad I'm not comfortable anymore, and that's awesome for you too.
Aw. Well, so correct me if I'm wrong. You and Jenny have never met personally.
No, we haven't.
Not yet. It was supposed to happen this year.
I know. IAFC. Was it in Daytona that we were all supposed to meet up?
Yes.
Yep, and I had
Oh,
actually, on top of the conference, I had actually signed up for one of her special workshops, and so I was so excited.
Oh, shoot.
oh, the Hydro Revolution?
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. Katrine and I had such a great time, and Chris working on that program.
Yeah. That was great. So how do you actually remember connecting with Jenny? How did you find out about, Jenny Lynn Fitness or Sweat?
I totally stalked her. So I started probably in 2018. I came across the Fit Motivation videos, just the small little clip ones that are on YouTube.
Hmm.
And I noticed that Jenny Lynn was featured for, Sweat, and hers stuck out to me so much because it was more of a challenge to me and stuff that I was looking at incorporating into my own workouts. And so I started watching those and taking notes. And then I found her page on Instagram. And I literally, when I say I stalked her, I just went back through all the posts and I was so intrigued and amazed at all the equipment she used. And I finally I followed her, and then I remember she followed me back, and I literally had a fangirl moment where, to the point I posted it on my Facebook. I was like, Jenny Lynn followed me. And then I finally got up the bravery to, I think, add you as a friend on Facebook. And
Hmm.
then we just started kind of talking back and forth. You've been nice enough to give me advice over things when I need it because I'm still very new to this.
Oh,
Um,
I mean, but I have to say, like, your go get 'em attitude is so infectious, and I absolutely love it. Especially once I was like, "Who is this Charlie girl? Oh, she's really liking my stuff." Okay, so I just started then stalking you and following you. I was like, "Who is she? I need to know more about this girl." And then seeing your stuff on Instagram and Facebook, I was like, "Oh no, she's not playing around. Like, she's making waves. Like, these are warriors." And it was super cool to connect because I know I sought out a lot of mentors and people in the industry, and I love having that feeling, but also just seeing your style and flair on it because everyone takes away something from other people.
yeah.
And it's amazing to have that connection. And I also, oh, that's right. I remember as I'm sitting here at my desk staring at it, the wooden plaques that you, I don't know if you create or help create with the isn't it like you hook it up with like electricity and then it burns?
Yep.
Well, I don't even know, but I was like fascinated with it once I saw these art pieces coming to life on your website. And I was just like, this girl does so many different things. So fascinated by it. But I mean, you'll have to explain it to our listeners because I am not doing it justice because you create these beautiful plaques.
Was lightning wood burning, where you take the generator out of a microwave and you hook it up to some wires, and kind of like you hook up a car battery almost, and you put baking soda down on the wood, and as soon as you hit the gas on those wires, it creates this beautiful lightning wood burn. um, and you can kind of direct it where you want the burn to go. You can make them deep burns. And right now we're actually getting into experimenting with, this is where I come in, where I add color to the burns and I help design logos. Like I made you the Sweat boot camp logo.
Oh my gosh. It's my all-time favorite, and I know you saw pictures of me just, like, hugging it and stuff because
Yes.
it's this beautiful round plaque that says "Sweat" by Jenny Lynn Fitness, and it has the burn marks, there's blue in it, the teardrop is blue. It's just I love it so much. It brings me so much inspiration. I can't thank you enough and him enough for creating it. It's, oh, my
It's
favorite.
true. It hangs above her desk at home.
Yes.
And for anyone who's listening who's like, why are we talking about wood on an aqua podcast? Uh, this pandemic has forced people to like throw themselves into their hobbies. And I have to say, this was
Yes.
something that I was like, wow, this is something. It's so cool. First of all, it's cool to watch. It's cool to see how it came together. But then when you see the end product, you're like, oh my God, this is something really inspirational and focused.
Yeah, it just took off. It's become one of our favorite things to do. And so now, we have people that saw Jenny's plaque. I've already had messages from people on that as well. Like, can you do this for me? And we're
Yay.
happy to. Like, we love doing it. So, I mean, if there's any other mermaids out there that want something for their business or whatever, we're happy to work with you and get something done just because it makes us happy being able to burn stuff.
I love fire so much. I mean, I love water more than anything, but I have to say, fire and water go really well together.
I mean, it's kind of like AJ was talking about. It's another one of those elements. So
Mhm.
there you go.
Exactly.
We're going to share a photo of the final product, obviously, on your blog, so that people can visually understand what we're talking about.
Okay.
It's so
Yes.
cool. It's so cool.
Oh my
Next time,
gosh.
I want to make you another one because after I gave you that one, I actually discovered glitter. So
Oh,
one of these times, I'm going to have to make you something with glitter in it because I've gone crazy with glitter.
oh, there can never be enough glitter. There can never
No.
be enough glitter. But moving back to the waves we were just creating, besides the woodwork, and we will put links for our listeners of how to like contact you and him to get the information regarding that. But tell us a little bit more about your current brand and your business. You know, kind of what your hopes and dreams are for it. Where are you taking Shockwave?
Okay, so I created Shockwave Aqua Fitness because I've noticed the places that I've taught in Kansas so far, when I come across other instructors, they're just doing a basic workout routine with their class where they're reading down a list of exercises, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the same class every time. And it's simply because they don't know that places, such as the AEA and other training facilities and such are out there for them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what a lot of people don't know about me is when I was certified, the way that I got certified was an in-house certification training at the gym I worked at. And she sat me down for, I think, an hour and went over this training manual with me that basically just taught you the principles of water, and that was it. It was okay, here you go. So I was literally put out kind of in the deep end to sink or swim.
Mm-hmm.
And the more that I've talked to instructors around here, they're telling me the same thing. So I came up with Shockwave after I developed strong and effective HIIT workouts and boot camp workouts and a class that I call H2O Go, which is nonstop cardio and strength training. And so I want people to be able to get a basic understanding of these three different formats.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm nowhere on a level of AEA or anything like that. This is more of for people just starting out or that just want to learn a little bit more. It teaches you about that. And eventually, I would like to expand this so that I can get this accredited, which I'm working on right now.
Good.
I actually have two instructors that now work for Shockwave and are helping me with this. And we're just trying to develop a really strong program that we can share with Kansas and eventually throughout the Midwest as well. That is the overall goal, is to get this program like off the ground and get really strong and effective instructors behind it.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Thanks. Because I just really don't want people, like, it really was a rough start for me. Because the first class I ever had, it's my class called Aqua Jam, which I still teach, but it started out just this basic like water dance class because my brain choreographs moves to the beat of the music just naturally. And so I did that, but the feedback I was getting, they're like, well, it's fun, but it's easy. And
Huh.
so that is actually at the time where, I went online and started discovering your videos and other videos because I had to teach myself how to make more effective classes.
Mm.
And I don't want new instructors to be shoved into something that they don't understand.
Yep.
I want them to be confident in what they're teaching. And it's not just teaching, it's, how to build your brand and yourself as an instructor. And so that's what I want to do. I just want to help other instructors.
That's great. I mean, it's all a journey of helping others. That's how we become better.
Yeah, we're all in this together. And something that you said is actually interesting. We've noticed as we've been talking with guests all over the world, really, that a lot of people kind of found themselves thrown into aqua fitness, and kind of had to start with little to no education.
Yeah.
and then slowly, obviously train and learn. And it seems to me that, like, obviously, with the AEA being the gold standard for the certification process, it's something where, you go through the program and you learn all of the principles and whatnot, and then you can take your learning in all these different certification programs and broaden and create your own brand, which is really where, I think a lot of water instructors are heading right now. That's the future for aquatic fitness, is for these people to take everything that they've learned from various certification programs and build intense workouts, build different types of workouts for different types of populations, and not just offer the standard, old school water workouts that just are not in demand the same way they were 15, 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And, the classes are changing too, because, I've heard on the podcast and several other places where unfortunately the stereotype for aqua fitness is you can come and socialize, and it's socializing while you're kind of getting a workout. And I'm thankful that in my classes and that in other instructors' classes that I'm helping with, they're combating that talking by making them actually focus on the workout and having them discover that, wow, I can really get a true workout in if I shut my mouth. So, so yeah, that's been really cool to see as well.
Yeah.
Good.
God, Jenny, that's like, what was Katie Coffey? We had her on an episode, and she shared she has two rules that she tells people. Jenny, do you remember what they were?
Well, I think the first one is your feet need to move faster than your mouth,
Yep.
Yes.
and then
Your hair will get wet.
your hair will
Yeah.
get. That's right. Your hair will get wet. That's right.
Yeah.
'Cause that's so funny you just said that, AJ, because Ashley actually put her on the spot at one of our AEA virtual workshops and was like, Katie, remind us what your rule is about talking. And Katie's like, right there. She was on it. It was really funny.
But it's true. And you know what? You learn that through taking certification programs like the sweat
Yes.
cert. Like, we're going to teach people, like, guess what? You want to stop the
Yeah.
talking in your classes? Here's how you do it. You
Yep.
make them use their lung capacity for something else other than chit chat.
Well, and the
Exactly.
funny thing is that this summer, what I started telling people is, I'm like, it's called aqua fitness, not mouth fitness. And now they want, my people like their t-shirts, and now they want that on a shirt. So I'm like, hey, if it'll help people not talk, cool.
There you
Right.
go. There you
Right.
go.
It's so true.
It all
And,
works.
and just for the record, obviously there is something very beneficial to the socialization that comes with aqua fitness, and I don't mean to demean those who come to it for that element and that element alone, but there are also people who show up to work out, to really treat this like you would any high intensity interval training, and you need to be able to offer that as well.
Right.
So I'm very curious with Shockwave and everything you have coming to fruition, so to speak. Where do you see yourself in the future? About maybe even 5, 10 years from now. What is your goal?
Um, Basically just expanding, not only taking Shockwave further and further out, but expanding on what I know. Once COVID is over, I'm dying to learn in person from other instructors so that
Mm-hmm.
I can just continue to build and learn new things. I discovered that teaching and training aquatic fitness is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. One goal I actually have for myself is to actually at some point be featured on Fit Motivation. um,
Yes, good goal.
yeah, I would love to do that, and just to get more exposure to the programs that we do with Shockwave, and just reach more people with it. I just want to keep going, keep learning, and doing all I can to be a part of this community and making it absolutely amazing. So that's pretty much my goal right now, is just to keep moving forward and to keep learning.
I love it. Those are great goals to have for sure. Um, and so, on that note, what is one piece of advice that you would give someone who maybe wants to follow in your footsteps, either getting involved in group and aquatic fitness or even like the business side, whether it's land or water? What's some advice that you would give someone?
I would just say do your research. If this is something that you want to get into, don't just say, okay, I got this. Do the research on the field exactly of what you want to go in. Make sure that it's absolutely something that you want to go into.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't be afraid to reach out for help. I know a lot of people think that receiving help is like a handout and you're too embarrassed to do it. But I wouldn't be at the level that I'm at right now if I wouldn't have, reached out to people like you and to Katie and,
Mm-hmm.
even my mom asking for advice and, continuing to learn. So I would just say go into it open, willing to learn, and be willing to accept criticism if it's needed because it's good criticism, it's feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So just, stay positive in it, make as many contacts as you can, learn about it as much as you can, and definitely like, we've talked through the AEA. I even tell my Shockwave people, AEA is the standard. Look into them, reach out to them, get started with them, and then,
Mm-hmm.
you will grow and learn and continue to learn along the way for sure.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's a very beautiful note for us to wrap up on, because I do think continuing the education is key.
100%. Yeah.
So why don't you share a little bit about where people can find you?
I'm probably the most active on Facebook. I have a Facebook page. It's if you just search for Shockwave Aqua Fitness with Sharlie, that should pop up for you right away. I post daily on there, and then I also have a website, www.shockwaveaquafitness.com. That has my class schedules on it, about Shockwave, and it also has info and registration for the certifications that we have through Shockwave. And then I'm also on Instagram. It is Shockwave Fit with Sharlie. So yeah, that's everywhere I am in the social media area.
Excellent. And there are lots of great posts, including the woodworking posts that we were talking about earlier in the episode. So we encourage you guys, please go find Sharlie, reach out to her for inspiration and motivation, and keep educating.
Exactly.
Yes.
And keep making waves.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. Well, Sharlie, thank you so much for joining us today. This was such a great interview.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you.
both. It's been a blast.
For more content like this, go to jennylynnfitness.com/podcast.
And please rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your audio content.
Thank you so much for listening, and stay hydrated.